Static and dynamic stretches are both integral parts of any warm-up or cool-down. To demonstrate the difference between the two, I will use our lunges that we talked about slightly earlier. So for a static stretch, static meaning still, we want to assume a position that will stretch out whatever muscle we're targeting. In this case, we're going to work on the muscles of our legs and our hips. And I'll get in my starting position of a lunge, and I will try to push through, leaning forward, keeping myself upright, tightening my back, tightening my core. And I feel this now through my hamstring and my hip. If I want to focus more on my hip flexors and my hip extensors, I can pivot my hip forward and stretch through the side over here. This is a great static stretch to really open up your hips and work on hip mobility, which will have direct translation to an athlete's ability to balance and hold themselves up and their body weight up on a single leg, which is very important for any sport that requires throwing, like bocce. Now, the dynamic version of this stretch, which I'll demonstrate now, requires movement. Dynamic means movement. So we are going to stand up again, find a starting position of just feet about shoulder width apart, take a step forward, and as we come down, still maintaining a tight core, body upright, face forward. If you are someone that is maybe balance impaired or is learning to regain their balance in precarious positions such as this, it helps to just pick a single spot and stare at it. And we are going to push our back leg back, not too much, but just enough so that we can start to feel the beginnings of a stretch and then come down slowly. And as we come down, we want to breathe out and really control the motion and pull through this right here. Your hip should start to feel the stretch, and if you've done that right, it should also start to translate down through your quadriceps or the front of your legs. And then come back up, switch legs, and begin to repeat. Dynamic stretches require a controlled, slow movement through a larger range of motion. So you'll notice this is very similar to the lunge exercise, but I am without a doubt having more control over the movement and my body while I do it, and focusing on pushing my range of motion kind of to its limits so that my body gets used to this. And I've really stretched out those muscles.